Ramiz Dodi, let me come to you now. Let's look at the situation on the ground. The fighting has been extremely intense, especially in capital Khartoum, where most of these Indians are stranded as well. The airport has been non-functional all this while, but several countries have begun evacuations. The United States, Britain, France, China, Germany, France, the Netherlands, at least these countries. India, of course, has been in touch with multiple nations in the region, also with authorities in the different warring factions in Sudan. Are you hopeful that with the External Affairs Minister announcing Operation Kaveri, that evacuations are likely to commence very soon? And what do you think has taken for us to come to this point, given that there has been no ceasefire and no pause in the fighting?
Well, while here, I'm extremely hopeful, and there are reasons. The evacuation will start, and I'm hopeful that this will be successfully done as well. There are many reasons. Reason number one, India is capable, and India has very rich experience in evacuating its citizens across the globe in such crises or emergencies. I'll give you some examples. I was in Kuwait in early 2000. I was working there, and I saw how people were evacuated from there. Leave that. We give some examples of Syria, Iraq, and other countries, and recently in Ukraine, how successfully the Indian government took all our citizens from there safely. An incident, but into that. Let me tell you one more thing. Right now, I'm in Jeddah, and the ambassador there in Sudan, His Excellency B.S. Mubarak, he was the Consul General of India in Jeddah, and I had the opportunity to work with him, from the community side, and that was the year, perhaps 2015. I mean, why I'm saying this, that the viewers, especially from India, they should not be worried a lot, because this man himself, experienced person, that is the year when there was a stampede in Hajj, and a lot of people, they left us, and they lost their lives, and very successfully, the team here in the Consulate General of India in Jeddah, they successfully completed and concluded that operation as well. So this man is experienced, the MEA there, they have experience, a lot of experience there. And right now, as I said, I have seen rather lots of preparations going on here in the Indian school in Jeddah. There are lots of volunteers there, teachers, males, female, all the teachers are there, the non-teaching staff, Indian community members are there, and they are the volunteers. They're ready to welcome that, because there are two, as you said in your report as well, there are two Indian Air Force 130J, they have been stationed here in Jeddah, and they are well prepared. So these, the government is taking its own, course, and they are sincere, and the people there, as I said, even they have lots of challenges, as I told you, that even in Sudan, the current situation there is quite disturbing. But the countries like Saudi Arabia, the friendly countries, UAE, and even the US, etc., they are all cooperating, they are helping, and India has a very good relationship with these
Absolutely.
countries. So
Asif, can I come in and ask you a follow-up question? You're quite right that apart from the fact that the Indian government has taken a fantastic initiative to bring the stranded Indians back home, we also have a fair amount of assistance coming in from friendly countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. But since you are in Jeddah, I'd like to ask you this. Would it be correct to say that evacuations at the moment are only taking place via land and sea routes, or have flight operations resumed as well? There is no clarity at the moment on the status of the Khartoum airport. Do you have an update on that?
I in fact don't have any updates on whether they are going to have some airlifting or using the air route or not. But as I said, I'm the witness, you can say, that there are, some serious kinds of preparations going on here with the help of the local government. They always help Indians. They are our friendly, country. And the Indian government also, through the, Indian Consulate General here in Jeddah, they have all preparations. Not only, we have the news, but I can see that there are two Indian Air Force 130J that is stationed here. But let me give you some more information in addition to what I said and to your question. What I think they are perhaps right now prepared for the sea routes, etc., land routes, etc. But I have no updates on the air routes. But I think they are experienced and they will be definitely working on that. You might be aware that even Saudi government, when they evacuated around 150, I mean, I was reading the news, and around 150 people from the stranded citizens there in Sudan, they were evacuated. And they evacuated even some, citizens from other countries. So this is the mutual kind of help, and there is a crisis. And let me tell you one thing, even Saudi Arabia it stands always ahead when it comes to humanitarian aids and when it comes to support in such kind of situations. They are trying their best, and I think together, if India is working with Saudi Arabia or UAE, US and other countries, I think these around 3,000 Indians, let's say 2,800, and around 1,200, residents there.
They should be back home soon.
They
Absolutely.
will be successfully taken care, and we should not worry. The situation is that we get panic, but using your medium, I request your viewers not to get panic and be hopeful. Hopefully things will be settled down soon for Indians, and I pray that the people there is stuck from all the other countries and across the world, including Sudanese.
Well, countries are working together. There is mutual cooperation. You are right. Saudi Arabia was actually the first country to carry out evacuation from Sudan on Saturday. They also managed to evacuate 3 Indians amongst others. Before Asif Rameez Dodi wrap up this debate for us, of course, the Major General is absolutely right in saying let's hold off on those celebrations till every Indian is brought back home safely. We're now hopeful that the evacuations are going to start very, very soon. How long do you think it could actually take for each of these 3,000 Indians to be brought back?
Well, that's a good question and big concern. Let me tell you, yes, we should not celebrate, and no one is, I think, celebrating. But looking at the track record, looking at the kind of diplomat there, looking at the policies that we have at the MEA there, looking at the relationship that we have with other countries like Saudi and UAE, etc., they are already engaged in these kinds of evacuation. We cannot anticipate what is happening tomorrow. I wish, I pray for the protection. I hope that nothing happens to all the Indians and everyone else there. But I mean, looking at these track records, we should be hopeful. And I think the time, as you said, it might take perhaps, let's say, as seen there in Ukraine and the evacuation processes that took place in the past, it should take, let's say, around a week or 10 days minimum. But what I can see, like the preparations, as I need to add a few more things here in terms of what is going on here in Jeddah. We have international Indian schools here, biggest schools, around 10,000 students. All these staff members, all the teaching and non-teaching staff members, Indian community in lakhs, they are always there, and the volunteers are there in hundreds. They are ready, and they are having 24/7 hours, duty chart they have received there. So I think once the evacuation starts, and if they come to Jeddah, for example, things will be properly taken care, and we should be positive. We should not celebrate. That's right. But we should always be hopeful, looking at our past records, etc. And I think we can just pray. We can wait and watch. And the people like you and the channels like yours, they are trying to raise these issues to inform the general people there, and also to bring the attention of the government. That's really going to help. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
And I hope things will definitely
that's
come
our
up
hope
positively.
Too. Absolutely. Massive arrangements are being made in Sudan, in Saudi Arabia, wherever possible, for those Indians to be evacuated from Sudan and brought back home safely. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Sudan, especially all those Indians who are trapped there. We're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that they're all brought out of the war-torn country safely and at the earliest. The process has begun.